I think he's just trolling people.
Yeah, President of the United States just trolling people. Just like when FDR addressed his worried nation.
The only thing we have to fear is that you're a bunch of wussy beta males. You just got pwned, snowflakes.
I don't want to create panic. People say, oh, you should have gone out there and jumped up and down. You're going to die. You're going to die.
There is a long history of presidents not knowing how to break news to the American people without panicking them. We all remember FDR's inaugural.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is you're gonna die! You're gonna die!
The Kurds are fighting for their land, just so you understand. They didn't help us in the Second World War. They didn't help us with Normandy.
No, that's true. There were no Kurds at Normandy. Remember this?
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, not a Kurd in sight. Thanks a lot, Kurds.
Trump believes the transcript exonerates him.
I'm going to sit down, perhaps as a fireside chat, and I will read the transcript of the call.
Remind me, did FDR ever use those to admit his crimes?
My fellow Americans, I want to address these allegations that I killed a hobo. That is categorically false. First of all, he had it coming. Let me read you his last words. What are you doing? Why are you stabbing me, President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt?
I lost massive amounts of money doing this job. This is one of the great losers of all time.
Inspiring words. Reminds me of FDR's inaugural address.
You have chosen me as your president, a job that totally sucks ass. Soon I'll be as poor as you dust-covered schmoes.
I would tell them, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. But certainly don't be afraid.
That's kind of creepy. That's kind of serial killer talk. I don't remember any new president ever having to say that out loud. After all, it was FDR who said, we have nothing to fear, now don't be afraid, it puts the lotion on its skin. The day was so rough on Wall Street, business journalists were forced to get really creative. Various outlets described the market as careening, plunging, sinking. This is the first crisis of Trump's presidency that he did not cause himself. Instead of monitoring the situation, Trump spent the weekend golfing. It does seem insensitive, but remember that right after Pearl Harbor was attacked, FDR was photographed playing skee-ball. December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in fun for me. That really took a turn, though it does remind me of FDR's famous speech.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked. Do I smell pizza? You guys got pizza? I didn't get pizza!
Talking to the American people through a crisis over the radio isn't a new idea. FDR had his famous fireside chats, and he was a lot more like Trump than you'd think.
My fellow Americans, war has engulfed the Pacific, but you're going to see the fighting go down to zero by April, like a miracle.
Trump recently took an hour out of his busy schedule during the pandemic to sit down with the New York Post and announce that he may skip the Correspondents' Dinner. But he had some harsh words for one former host.
Seth Meyers, just one joke. The guy's got no talent.
Trump is staying laser-focused on the ball during a crisis. Reminds me of FDR.
December 7th, 1941, a date that will live in infamy. Because Groucho Marx is a no-talent hack. I'm a Three Stooges man. Woo!
Trump's golf course in LA announced that they were reopening with a tweet that said, "We are thrilled to announce the reopening of Trump Golf LA." And then Trump retweeted it and wrote, "So great to see our country starting to open up again." Trump actually found a way to use a pandemic to advertise his luxury golf resort. Reminds me of that time during the Great Depression when FDR advertised his bindle-making business. Are you a hobo looking for a sack to carry your can of beans as you ride the rails in search of work?
How bad is this going to get?
Well, that is what it is.
Reminds me of FDR's famous response when they told him about Pearl Harbor. Well, happens. And the president is claiming it's almost over. Finding out what World War II would have been like if FDR had said, December 7th, 1941, a date that will live in infamy as the end of World War II. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, boys. We wrapped it up.
We're clear.
Okay. Okay.
He reacted to his speech the way the rest of us reacted to it. Okay. It's like if FDR had said yesterday, December 7th, a day which will live in infamy. The United States was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. So, like, that just happened.
Okay.
That is not the sound you want to hear from a president after a serious address. Right? FDR didn't reassure the nation by saying, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Okay, Daddy needs a margarita. Can I get a margarita? I need a drink. Oh, they're still here?